What it do, vinyl community? It's Fluffy, back again with another video. First video of 2026. I know we're already in April, but hey, better late than never, right? And on top of that, I said, hey, why not make a video series that I haven't done in probably over a year now, which is Fresh Off the Platter. These are records that I have recently spun. I've been way behind with spinning a lot of the records that I've been buying these days. But anyways, let's get started. I'm gonna go in reverse order. So from the most recent pickups that I've recently acquired to purchases that I've made a few months ago by now. First off, Record Store Day 2026. Me personally, I think it was a success, although I didn't buy any Record Store Day exclusives. I'm here in LA. I honestly didn't want any of the titles from this year, so I was like, okay, let me see if I can find anything. Found a title that I've been wanting, and I'm happy that the Tone Poet people have reissued this. This is Frank Sinatra Songs for Swingin' Lovers, my favorite Frank Sinatra album and one of my favorite albums of all time. It's what got me started record collecting, so I knew I had to pick this one up. Just absolutely beautiful, stunning record, and the presentation by the Blue Note folks, always top notch, especially the Tone Poets. It's always great quality. The music is fantastic, and yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have Sinatra's other album, which is now I'm blanking out here. In the Wee Small Hours. It's one of the ones that it sold out, and then I was like, okay, I'll probably get it when it repress it. They've repressed it, but I still haven't bought it. But now I know that you can get that on Amazon for the same retail price. Here's another one that I picked up. That first one I picked up at Amoeba. And then I went to the first place that I went to for Record Store Day was Record Safari. They had some stuff that I want, but I'm not going to show it in this video. So let me show you one of the titles that I did pick up there. This is Leon Ware's Musical Massage. I've had this on my want list for, I think at the beginning of this year. I heard it, I loved it. Leon Ware, who I'm not sure if he put out a lot of albums, but this is his most popular, well-known albums. I know that he produced a lot of other musicians' albums, including Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye is featured on here in one of the songs, actually on the last song, Holiday, on side 1. This is some great soul music. This is just fantastic. If you haven't listened to this album, I highly recommend streaming it. Happy that was at the Safari wall. This is a VCLT, actually not VCLT. I bought this from Rob's auction. My first classical. Technically not my first classical, but I like to say it's my first classical because this is the first classical that I've known about. Had this on my want list for a few years now, ever since I discovered Acoustic Sounds classical section of what they put out, their releases at least. But this is Richard Strauss, also Zarathustra, Rhino Chicago Symphony. This is a Classic Records reissue. Sounds awesome. I'm happy with this. I'm sure the originals go for not that much. Maybe I'm wrong, but anyways, got this from Rob the Wax's auction for a good price. And yeah, shout outs to Rob for putting killer titles on his in his auctions. Okay, going back probably a month ago now, LA Vinyl Con, which again didn't really go there for the records. I went there for the people in the VC. Wanted to hang out with them, have a good time. For me, at least, my experience for going to VinylCon was the people first, the records second. I know everyone was there for the records, but didn't pick up anything that day. However, Chris Vinyl Piper gave me some VCLT. So I want to show you guys what he gave me. First up, Black Sabbath Paranoid. This is original greenie. Shout out to Piper. I've been wanting a copy for some time now, ever since I had the Vertigo pressing, and I honestly didn't really like. I compared it to this one. I honestly thought this one sounded better, so I sold my Vertigo now, and I'm keeping this one, of course, because VCLT. So shout out to Piper for that. Another one, actually the only other one that he VCLT me and I needed in my collection, Nirvana's Nevermind. This is the 2013 Bernie Grundman pressing reissue. Sounds awesome. Spun it yesterday actually, and I absolutely love the music on here. You know, originals go for a crap ton of money, so I'm happy with this one. I do see originals out in LA, in the LA shops, but they're asking like 500 and up, so I'm happy for this one for right now. This next album I got from a new store here in LA. It's a Japanese owned record shop, so it's like half of the store is mainly Japanese, like city pop, folk based music, and then the other side is, you know, your typical albums and groups like the Beatles, Rolling Stone, Led Zeppelin. You have your soul section, small sections, so like soul section, movie section or soundtracks, small jazz like bins, hip hop, that kind of thing. And then you have like your small rock section, and I've been looking for this. Actually, this one was in their new arrivals, and out of all places I found it at this Japanese shop. But this is UFO's Lights Out, my first UFO album. I really dig the music on here. You know, people can call it dad rock or whatever, but this is good. I really love it. I love the sound of the pressing here, and I might as well show you guys. It is a demo not for sale stamp there. Cool. But yeah, this is a good one. Absolutely enjoyed it. And like I said, out of all places, at a freaking Japanese record shop, hey, you never know what you'll find there. Okay, next up are all online purchases. And these are ones that I've had for a few months now. I just hadn't spun it until recently. And yeah, just I started buying stuff that I've been wanting, and then I like completely did a 180, and now I'm focused on a certain, like, not necessarily genre, but also from a different country. But anyways, back to the US. Here's one that I picked up. This is Horace Tapscott's Pan-African People's Orchestra, led by Horace Tapscott. This is a not a reissue necessarily, but this is like a first release that came out last year, and this is cool. This is a double disc. The performance took place live at Whitney High, December 26, 1971. This is a good spiritual jazz with like vocals, some might say even free improvisation, but this is good. I absolutely enjoy this. I love the sound quality on here. I got it for a good price on, I think, Bandcamp. And yeah, this is just awesome. I've been in this Horace Tapscott and the Pan-African People's Orchestra rabbit hole, per se. I don't have any other, like, well, other than the Del Sebastian that I showed in my last video, I don't have any other Horace Tapscott records, but I've been streaming a lot, and I gotta say, I'm just so dang impressed with the music, the people that are in the group, and just the performances overall is just incredible. So happy to have this one, hoping to, you know, continue to grow my Horace Tapscott collection. This next one was a eBay purchase that originally I thought, hey, I don't know if this is a legit first press. It was sealed, and I told the guy, hey, he gave me an offer, and I was like, okay, I think the offer was still a little too high for me. I told him, hey, I don't know if this is actually a legit first press. Can we go down a bit more? He was like, okay, sure. And I gave him an offer, and then he accepted it, and then, you know, the record arrived to me, and it turned out to be a first press. So, I'm happy to have this now. It was sealed 50 years. For 50 years. This is the Pyramids Birth Speed Merging 1976. This is just incredible music. Jazz, funk. At some points, it's like free jazz. I absolutely dig this group, the Pyramids. They only put out 3 records in the 70s, and then later on in probably a decade ago now, they put out some more stuff. But I know some label reissued this a few years ago, and you can get all 3 of their albums plus a live album that was never issued back in the day. So yeah, this is just cool, incredible music from this group, the Pyramids, and just happy that it arrived and it turned out to be a first pressing, and the record wasn't warped by no means. And yeah, anyways, this next record also came from an eBay purchase, and this has been on my want list for some time now, and could never find a cheap copy just because this one goes for a lot. But I think I found it for a good price on eBay. The guy wanted for, but this is Pete LaRocca's Turkish Woman at the Bath. This is on Douglas. This came out I think 1967, and Pete LaRocca, who only had one other lead session release or lead session album, which was on Blue Note, called Basra. But definitely he had a ton of albums where he was a sideman. But this is his other one where he's a leader. And a few years after this album was released, I always forget how the story goes, but it's like Muse either bought the rights to this label, and then they reissued it as Chick Corea's. They completely changed the cover and the title, but Muse released it as Bliss by Chick Corea, which I think you can find for way cheaper. But this is a good one. Who's on here? I know Pete LaRocca's on here, Chick Corea's on here as on piano, John Gilmore on tenor sax, and Walter Booker on bass. So this is a classic quartet session, and just great music overall. Pete LaRocca's Turkish Woman at the Bath. Okay, this one also came from eBay. Actually, all of these came from eBay. Actually, one of them came from Discogs, but this one came from eBay. Been a huge want, like for a few months towards the end of last year. I had been on this guy's music kick, and I knew I had to get his first 2 albums, and happy to have his first one here. This is Mtume's Alkebulan, Land of the Blacks, live at the East. This is a Strata East release, double disc. This is some great free improvisation, spoken word double disc album live at the East, which is, I believe it was a small venue in New York. I know that Pharoah Sanders had an album on Impulse live at the East, and other than that, I don't know who else performed there, but this is so cool. This has a monster of a lineup. Mtume is on here, Carlos Garnett, Leroy Jenkins, Gary Bartz, Stanley Cowell, Buster Williams, Andy Bay on vocals. I mean, you have, I might as well show you guys here. It's just an absolute killer lineup and just amazing musicians, amazing performance. And yeah, this is super, super clean. Whenever you see like originals of these, you see it's like completely has this ring wear on both sides, but this is one of the cleaner ones that I've seen online. And yeah, this is just amazing stuff. This is one where I'm curious if what's the label, reissue label that's doing all the Strata East? I think Mac Avenue. I wonder if Mac Avenue will have a reissue. Will reissue this if they have the tapes, because I know that they don't have all of them, but I know they have some, and definitely curious if they have this one. But yeah, this is a great one. Absolutely love Mtume, especially like his early stuff, and what he did later on is just pretty dang cool. Here's another Mtume record that I wanted, and me personally, I think I prefer this one over the live at the East, but they're both incredible. Like, I think they're both neck and neck, but I honestly prefer this one just a little bit more. This is Mtume's Rebirth Cycle 1976, I think this came out. 1977. Another just outstanding lineup here. You have Gene Carn, who does vocals, Stanley Cowell on piano, Dee Dee Bridgewater, I recognize, Jimmy Heath, Cecil McBee, Billy Hart, Leroy Jenkins, Buster Williams, Reggie Lucas, who I think is the guitar player on here. He shreds on here. Like, it sounds, at one point, sounds like a freaking rock album. That's how good this album is. And especially for 1976 or 1977, boy, this is just great stuff. Let me just do that. But yeah, I absolutely love this one. Another one where I think this album should be reissued. I don't know where the tapes are, but if you can find a reissue, jump on the reissue train. But Mtume's Rebirth Cycle on 3rd Street Records. Very, very nice. Okay, last two. Another one that's just been on my want list forever. I feel like there are a lot of black jazz titles that I want, but this one I just really, really wanted. And I feel like this one kind of filled the hole of the black jazz titles that I've been wanting. I'm talking about Henry Franklin's The Skipper at Home. This is a Discogs purchase, and what's cool about this one is a radio station promo copy. The guy who sold it to me said that this came from a radio station, and I think usually when it comes from a radio station, it's typically clean, like the disc. But yeah, the disc is clean, and just incredible music on here. I think when it comes to Henry Franklin's, mind you, he only put out probably 3 albums. I could be wrong, but from what I know right now, he has another album on black jazz, which is I think it's called The Skipper. And people usually go for that one rather than this one, but this is my favorite one. And then he has another one on Catalyst, which came out probably a few years later, but this is just fantastic. Yeah, there's a lineup on here, but I don't know any of the names. Maybe some of you guys will know. Let me see here. Yeah, I don't know. Here's the lineup. I'll show you guys. Okay. Last one. I want to make this video quick. This one I decided to show last because for my next few videos, I want to showcase music from Japan. And this is an album from Japan, but this is still, jazz related. I've been wanting this. I've had a a double 45 reissue of this. And then, yeah. Anyways, happy to have not necessarily a original. Some call it original, but this is a like a very early repress, I think. This is on Three Blind Mice, a label that I've been wanting to collect more of. And this is Tsuyoshi Yamamoto Misty. This is so dang good. This trio, piano, bass, and drums trio, just so incredible, from 1974. But like I was saying, this is a early repress because the original, like the first press, I believe, has the mouse on here, the mouse logo. But man, I want to collect more of the Three Blind Mice. I know that there's like this Bernie Grundman series of reissues that more and more people have been talking about these days, and I'm probably gonna give that one a chance. Like I think I'm gonna just skip on the originals and just go for those reissues. Let me know if you guys have any. Very, very curious to see if you guys enjoy the Three Blind Mice reissue series. And yeah, but this is, like I was saying, from Japan. My next few videos that I want to make are involves like music from Japan, and you know, some is gonna be like fusion, some music will be like city pop, some will be folk, but that's what I've been really going towards this year. But yeah, this is Tsuyoshi Yamamoto Trio, Misty. Just incredible music on here. Let me know if you guys have this album. Maybe, you know, the reissue. But yeah, very, very happy to have this one. That is it for today's video. That's all the records that I've been showing for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have any of these, or if you guys have listened to any of the music that I showed today. And otherwise, hope to see you guys in the next one. Fluffy out.